when you joined the business, why did you come into the business? And for me personally, it was just to make a couple extra $100 a month. And so I look for people that don't necessarily look for a life changer, but just look for somebody that just is looking to have a little bit of fun, earn a little extra money, and that's someone that's kind of happy-go-lucky.
Well, I have a slightly different approach to that. I say that you live the blitz in such a way that you are looking for anyone and everyone that you can possibly talk to. And so what happens when it comes to recruiting is we see people time and time again, they tend to make blitzing a specified event. Like they've got to create an environment, they've got to set a routine, they've got to make an event. It has to be this big set pre-planned event to go out and blitz. And the problem with that is, well, one, we're all horrible about planning out things and following through on them. But two, you're missing the point. And I think the point is that our lives should be lived in such a way that we are blitzing with every single thing we do. And so when we say life's a blitz, live it, that means, man, every chance that every time that you're out and about in the community, you're always living that blitz. Whether that means that you're just wearing a crazy shirt or you're wearing some green shoelaces or a bracelet.
I kind of feel like if I don't wear lime green, black, and bling, I don't know, I'm a traitor or something.
You're selling yourself out.
I'm selling myself out.
Yeah, and so living the blitz is all about planting seeds, man. It does not have to be. I think people get caught up in the blitz cards. I think that's part of our problem. Like we identify the blitz card as the solo way that we blitz in this business, and that's just not true. The blitz card is just a tool that allows you to utilize the true blitz, which is the conversation. And so living the blitz is about getting yourself into a position, finding ways to plant seeds into conversations that you can have. You agree with that?
I completely agree with that. And I think, what I was saying is looking for people kind of like you. Something I'm going to talk about here in just a second is that we don't read a book by its cover either. So we can't judge someone and say, no, they may not be interested in the business, because, folks, you never know. The person sitting right next to you is probably interested in the business. You just haven't talked to them about it. So do not discriminate on who you talk to about this business.
There's a lot of discussion a lot of times about targeting. Like, you're trying to target specific people. And what we found to be true time and time again is that you just never know. The people you think are going to rock this thing out don't, and the ones you think who aren't going to rock it out, they end up rocking it out. You can't make that judgment call. You agree with that as well, I think.
I do agree with that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But I think one thing we just need to if you're making a list of who you might be talking to, that would be people like I said originally, people that just want to get into the business and have fun, people that want to make a couple extra $100 a month, even people that you think that don't need the opportunity, talk to them. Make a list of prospects when you're recruiting, when you're starting your recruiting. You're living that blitz on a daily basis, looking for prospects. But, we need to make sure we're making a list of prospects.
I can tell you the one thing that we did, and we'll talk about this a little bit at conference, but, one of our big game changers was conference. I mean, it really was. And what did we do on that plane ride home? I'll never forget it. I mean, it sticks in my mind so vividly, because we got on that plane, and my wife was so excited. She was so excited. We spent a 3-hour plane ride, and all we did was make a list.
Right. I turned my diamond chart backwards.
Yeah.
And I used that as my prospect list. And what's kind of ironic is I still have that to this day. And I still continue to keep working off that same list and keep adding to that list. So, anyone that might pop into your mind, I believe there's a reason that they popped into your mind, so write them down. So exclude no one. It is our job to offer the opportunity, and it's theirs to decide for themselves. So do not exclude anybody.
No, I think that goes back to targeting. I hear a lot of people. We talked about this a little bit on the Man Cave call too. There's some folks who like to target. They're looking for a target audience because you think a specific person is going to be good. This person is going to rock it out, and it's just hardly the case. You just never really know. And so, the best way to be successful at recruiting good people is to recruit everyone.
Exactly. We'll talk about that. It's kind of a numbers game as well. Go through your Facebook list. That's a great kind of a tool in making your list. If you can't just think of people automatically, go through your Facebook friend group and just write down their names and kind of watch what they're doing on Facebook and see, how they're interacting with people, and see if there's something that might pop out that you can say, hey, this business might be an opportunity for you. One thing that I look for is stay-at-home moms. Stay-at-home moms that maybe Facebook saying that, they're tired of not having a date night with their husband, or they feel like trapped in their home, those types of things. And I can go to them and say, hey, guess what? I have the answer to your problem. Because if you want a date night with your husband, like I did 18 months ago, that I rarely ever got, I started selling some wraps, started making some extra cash, and was able to bring my husband out on a date and pay for a babysitter. And so those are things that you just kind of want to look for as you're going through your Facebook friends.
Well, I think, and people feel like, and in some degree justifiably so, but I don't agree, that Facebook has kind of run its course. Like, there are people who are saying, like, oh, Facebook is so overused, it's inundated, it's saturated. I love the word saturated when it comes to this business.
Right.
That Facebook is still a tool that's there, but it's just not as effective. And I just don't agree with that. I mean, we are still signing people off of Facebook consistently. And one of the ways that we're doing that is we're recruiting them by planting seeds. It goes back to what we were saying earlier. That you're going to see people making comments out there on posts, and you're gonna just be active on Facebook in a way that is not directly recruiting. And what I mean by
Correct.
that is you're constantly commenting on other people's posts.
You kind of keep yourself active.
Yeah, just being active. Like, I think that what you're saying is go through your friends list and make sure you're contacting them directly. No doubt about that. But I think what else is not to be missed is the fact that if you're active on Facebook or any social media, I'm just using Facebook as the example here, but if you're active on Facebook where you're commenting on people's posts, what happens a lot of times when you comment on someone's post that hasn't talked to you for a while or you haven't seen in a while? A lot of times their natural instinct is to go say, well, I haven't heard from Lori in a while. I'm going to go check out her webpage. And
right.
then, boom, guess what we got on the page?
You have all these lifestyle pictures and posts and product information, and they're going to say, what is that?
So Facebook is not a dead tool. We've been at this for 18 or 19 months now, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
And we have grown a lot of business off of social media, and we still today have people. So we just signed up a loyal customer last week, another one the week before, from Facebook. They're watching you constantly, and you just got to stay active.
That's right. Okay, let's talk about getting off of Facebook and getting involved in
which
your
is
community.
Also hugely important.
It is so important. Facebook's been huge for our success, but it's not our only, it's not our only tool for success. So in order to recruit successfully, you cannot sit behind your computer all day. You've got to get out and get involved. And they're buying you. Anybody that you recruit into your business, they're buying you. We have a wonderful, wonderful product that is a first-to-market product, a groundbreaking opportunity. However, if they don't trust you or like you, they're not going to be joining your team. They're going to find somebody else to join with. Do you agree?
Oh, I think community involvement is huge because, there are people in your lives that you're friends with, you're close with, you've got your family members, and then there's people that you're just associated with. And you only get certain opportunities to touch those folks and contact them, and you've got to make the most of those opportunities. And I think what Lori said is huge. You cannot miss the importance of the notion that we've got the three-headed monster here, man. We've got a product that works, we've got a business model that works, and we have timing that works. Everything about what we're doing right now is perfect. And when you're involved in more activity outside of Facebook, we preach this so heavily because Facebook is a vital tool. I don't want to sell it short, but I think we get in this rut where we treat Facebook like it's our only avenue of recruiting.
Right.
Like we hide behind this screen because it's comfortable, it's safe, and it's easy. Let's be honest, it's easy, and that lazy bone creeps up in all of us. That's true.
And I think not only is it easy in a sense, it's easier for rejection.
That's right. It's easy to hide behind that screen because someone's not face-to-face handing you that Blitz card back or telling you that they think you're full of beans.
Right, or telling you they don't want to join your team. And I think, part of recruiting is getting those 50 no's before you get that first yes, because you're not going to get a yes the first time you go out. And if you do, congratulations, go on to your second, because you probably won't get a second yes. It's going to take a couple of no's before you get your first yes.
So, and here's the thing. Being involved in the community is just what you need to be doing anyway. Let's be honest with it. We all want to live lives of value. We want to create legacies. And you can't sit in your four walls of your house and be completely satisfied. It's just not going to happen. And so you've got to get outside your four walls, get involved. We've got service organizations that we're both a part of. Lori's, we've got church groups that we're part of, your MOPS, I don't know how you classify that one, but there's different social, community, church, all these organizations that we're actively a part of, and we were before.
Right.
But those things are things that everyone needs to be a part of, not just for their business. I would say to be living a fulfilled life. Get out there and get involved, because you're going to meet new people. They're going to stretch you beyond your means.
Correct.
And you never know when you're going to meet that next rock star.
Right. You never know. Let me say this. Do not, don't necessarily get involved with the intent to get business. Agreed. Because then you're going to look really, really needy. Or you're going to be the one in the group that, oh, she just came on board because she wants to sell me something. And quite honestly, if you're out there to try and sell somebody on something, they're never going to buy.
Yeah, and here's the thing, man. People, this may be jumping off of your timeline here, but people really focus on recruiting businesses. They focus on tanning salons, right. and I hope I'm not out of line here. But they focus on businesses because they're like, oh, man, these businesses are going to do they're gonna rock and roll, which more times than not they don't. I'm gonna focus on businesses and salons and hairstylists and all those kinds of things. And here's the thing: we have had way more success by indirectly blitzing a place that we already frequent. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like not cold call, walking in, I'm just trying to sell you something off the street. If this is a place that we use, we go buy things from them. I get my hair cut here. Those are the people that we've had success with recruiting because they know you, they trust you. What Lori was just talking about, man, don't underestimate this. And this is something that's missed sometimes. Again, I go back to, we have the trifecta, man. Everything works about what we've got going on here with the product, the business model, the timing. But do not underestimate the importance of yourself when it comes to recruiting. People, in large part, are buying into you when they're signing up with your business in the very beginning. And that's hard for people to hear. It's hard for people to understand. And again, I don't want to minimize the importance of our golden goose, because it is a golden goose.
It's a hot product, let me tell you.
But you are a hot product too. And you've got to see that, and you've got to take that real and take ownership of the idea that, hey, when you're talking to people, you're selling yourself. You're selling a product, you're talking about a product, but don't forget, right next to that product that is the wrap is the product that is you, and you are selling yourself when you're out there recruiting. So you've got to be legitimate. You've got to be dedicated. You've got to be excited.
You've got to
believe.
Be excited, completely excited, and live that lifestyle on Facebook that shows that excitement. When people buy from you, they're buying from you because they trust you, and so keep that at the foremost front of your mind. Recruit with the intent of finding people, not just boxes. That's something that I notice a lot that happens as people try to grow very, very quickly and try to fill all these boxes to get to a certain level. And guys, if you're not putting the right people in those boxes, it will fall apart, because you can't do it all. You can't go diamond with 24 distributors that are just boxes. You've got to have people that are actually in there doing the business, working those steps to success. In fact, Quentin, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I would rather have 4 loyal customers than one distributor that doesn't do anything any day of the week.
Is that a serious question?
Serious question.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I'm not recruiting distributors that just want to sit there. I want to recruit volume, right. And volume comes in 2 ways: from loyal customers buying products and distributors who are signing loyal customers.
So our company does not reward us for recruiting. They reward us for sponsoring. So let's talk about the difference between sponsoring versus recruiting. Quentin, what's a recruiting? How would you define recruiting?
I don't know what you're looking for. You're leading me to a question.
I am leading you to a question.
We should have pre-planned better.
We're impromptu. Okay, so recruiting somebody is like leading them to the water, not teaching them how to drink, right?
You are rarely good at getting sales, right?
Right.
You got that. Right. You got the right.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like taking somebody and signing them up for something, and then moving on. Yeah. They don't have a clue what to do. You've just kind of. I
agree with that.
You've just kind of left them.
Recruiting is bringing them in.
Bringing them in. Okay. Sponsoring is when you actually take the time to teach them and empower them to go through their training, to make sure they know what they're doing, and kind of plug in with them. Teach them the ropes that you know. Build a relationship with them, that you care about them and you care about their success.
Yeah, sponsoring is more, you're bringing them into the fold and you're putting them under your wing, and they're becoming a part of you. A recruiter is, when you're recruiting folks that are under you, when you're sponsoring, they're a part of you. That's the way I look at it.
Love that. Say that again.
I can't. That again.
That again.
When you're recruiting people, they're under you. When you're sponsoring them, they're a part of you.
They're a part of you. I love that. So you build relationships, and that helps them kind of get involved in the business and empowers them to want to do more. So relationships, when you build those relationships, you actually sponsor people. They're less likely to quit. And let's talk about when people do quit. I know we're kind of jumping around, but this is all going to come back together here. When people quit, that's okay. You just
you clap your hands and you celebrate.
Right, because they're usually the ones that are really high maintenance that are causing you most grief.
Well, when people quit, it's generally because they never got it. They never saw the burn. They never felt the burn. They never saw the bigger
had
picture.
that fire in their belly to begin with. And so let them go, because if they want to do it, they're going to do it. And if they're not, they're not.
Yeah, the beauty of this business, and I think I see a lot of people get hung up on the personal responsibility. And you have a lot of personal responsibility when you are sponsoring people, don't get me wrong. But ultimately, all of us, the individual responsibility is ours on what we do with our business. And so I hear people all the time complaining about their upline or who sponsored them. And you know what? All of it's bunk. It doesn't matter, because ultimately the responsibility for success is yours. It is no one else but yourself. It's great to have the blessing of a great upline. It's great to have the blessing of a great sideline. But ultimately, your success is yours.
Depends on you. If it is to be, it's up to me. And empowerment is the key. Because if you don't empower yourself to want to know more, to go through your E-Suite training, to press on, to find people that want to help you, if you do not have an upline that does. Guys, there's always an upline that wants to help you. So just keep going up. If someone sponsored you that's not in the business anymore, find the next person, because you've always got someone above you that wants to help you.
And I would take that a step further, man. I mean, some of the best mentors, some of the best people I have in my existing world with It Works are not even uplines. They're sidelines. And they're people that I've met that help me, and they help me grow, and they challenge me, and they slap me down when I need to be slapped out. You know, those people aren't even people that are necessarily a part of my team, or I'm a part of their team. This is a big family in a sense. And so, you know, when you bring prospects in, ultimately it's the responsibility of themselves to grow and learn, and you can help them. But, you know, there's so many resources around you to get that fulfillment, to get the coaching, to get the help that you need. You've just got to be willing to go out there and get it.
That's right. This is a job of building and recruiting, and really it's just a numbers game. Like I said in the beginning, the reason that we are more successful than an executive is because we've been in the business longer and we've signed more people. Doesn't mean that everybody that we've signed has stayed on. I wish, but you know, going back and looking at my old charts, I can look at people that I signed when I first came on board that are no longer part of the company. You know, I had to learn a lot going through this whole process of wanting this more for some than they wanted for themselves. And those are the people, like we talked about earlier, that you just got to let go. If they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. You just got to move on.
Well, I'd say this is a business of not just numbers, but experience. And what I mean by that is there's no doubt about it. You play the numbers game, I'll play the numbers game with you. I'm a banker by trade, man. I'll play numbers with you all day long, and she is 100% right. The more people you get the wraps on, the more people you're going to sign up, period. End of conversation. What do you need to know about recruiting? Get wraps on people, period. All right, now, the experience part of that comes in to how do I handle it once I've gotten the wraps on people? Or how do I start coaching those people once I've gotten them over the cliff? So there's an experience variable in this, but at the very beginning of this game, what are you concerned about? Steps to success, people. And the steps to success, what's the meat and potato behind that?
Wrapping people.
Wrapping people. So hey, Lori, what have you guys done? How have you gotten to the level where you're at? Steps to success. No. I mean, but really, how did you get where you're at?
Really. Oh, you know what? Steps to success.
But really, inside the steps to success, what are you doing? Oh, I'm wrapping people. Yeah. I know you're wrapping people, but when it comes to recruiting, what are you really doing?
Steps to success.
Oh, and then I'm wrapping people.
And then you're wrapping people. And so we are in the business of wrapping. And so when I've got somebody that I have kind of pulled in and they're excited about the opportunity, the first thing that I talk to them about, guys, is those steps to success. Before I sign anybody up to be a distributor, I have a very long conversation, and Quentin can attest to this with me on the phone a lot, but I have a very long conversation with people that are a long distance from me over the telephone or in person if they're local about those steps to success, because those are the meat and potatoes of our business. If you're not working those steps to success, you are not going to be successful in this business.
And I don't want you to miss the nugget that you just had right there, right? So what is one of your important recruiting tools?
Steps to success.
Steps to success.
What's the most vital and important thing in growing your business?
The steps to
success.
Okay, so here's what's funny about that. Well, how to recruit people? How to recruit people? Well, I tell them how easy this business can be if you just follow a simple plan. What's the simple plan, Lori?
The steps to success.
Weird.
And people will say, well, how have you been so successful? And I say, it's 3 simple steps. And the company lays them out for you. It's like a no-brainer. And the groundbreaking opportunity that you have for minimal cost out of pocket is phenomenal if you just follow these 3 steps. So I go over the steps in detail. You know, I'm going to go over them really quick on the call here. I think the majority of us know them, but I can't do a training without at least going through them in detail. So an auto ship of 80 BV. This is, in my opinion, every brand new distributor needs to have their auto ship set up on 2 boxes of wraps. Now, granted, that's over 80 BV. It's like 104, I believe, or 108, I'm sorry. But, you know, wrapping is what we do. And if you have 2 boxes of wraps that are being shipped to your house, then you are going to be forced to wrap 8 people a month. And guess what? Forcing yourself to wrap 8 people a month is going to allow you to grow your business and put the product on more people, because wrapping is what we do. And that's what helps us kind of get started on that steps to success.
I call it inventory accountability. Nobody wants to carry an inventory in this business because that's not the way this business is set up. You put your auto ship, which is step number 1 of the steps to success. You put your auto ship on 2 boxes of wraps. Guess what you got?
Inventory.
You've got a goal to get rid of those wraps, because we're not about carrying inventory. We're about getting wraps on people. So I got 2 boxes coming in a month. I got to wrap 8 people.
So usually when I sit down with somebody and say it's an 80 BV auto ship, and I'm going to recommend, that's roughly $80, but I'm going to recommend 2 boxes of wraps at, you know, $59 a piece. Your auto ship's going to run you about $120 a month. And if I get a crazy look like, what are you trying to sell me now? Then I know I don't need to go on any further. But I explained to them the beauty of this business is that Quentin said, we do not have inventory that we hold. Guess what? I don't have a shelf in somewhere in my room or a closet somewhere in my house that's crammed full of a bunch of stuff that's just sitting there collecting dust. I have an auto shipment that I run once a month that I put on product that I'm going to put back on people to help grow my business.
Well, and here's one thing that you just said that is really crucial. You know, we're not carrying inventory. We're keeping ourselves accountable. But you said that, hey, when I'm talking to people on the phone or in person, and I tell them they need to get that auto ship put on two boxes a month, and if I get some crazy look, what's that tell you right there?
They're not ready. Guess what? They're ready to be a loyal customer.
Which I love loyal customers too.
It's a win-win situation, right?
That is right.
Yeah, so you're recruiting, but guess what? You may get a distributor and you may get a loyal customer.
And both of them are great.
Guess what? You might just get both.
Yeah,
too.
That's right. So here's the thing. I mean, you've got, this is what goes back to my experience comment earlier. Your experience will teach you how to read people as you're going through this. And some of them, here's the bottom line, folks. This is not a business for everyone. Period. It's not a business for everyone. And I think some of the mistakes that folks make is they go out and they try to recruit everyone they meet to be a distributor. And not everyone is made to be a distributor. And guess what? If we all went out there and just signed distributors, what would our business be like? Horrible.
We wouldn't get any paycheck, because guess what? Our paychecks are driven by loyal customers. And so, you know, that kind of brings us into our second step to success, which is 4 loyal customers. So you get more with 4 is what the company says. And so you got to go get 4 loyal customers. And I explained to brand new people, do you know at least 4 people that you could call today and put this wrap on? Because you're going to get a box of 4 wraps, and you're going to be incentivized to get 4 loyal customers within your first 30 days. And what I would recommend, depending on what your goal is for this business, I would recommend jumping in and trying to get those loyal customers right away, because the company is going to reward you as soon as you make that 4 loyal customer goal. And so, sorry about that.
That was a prospect. I better get that call.
That was a prospect. So anyway, we've got 4 loyal customers. The quicker you can do that, the better, because you're going to be incentivized from the company to get 120 in free product. So that 120 in free product is going to allow you to be able to get more product from the company. At that point in time, I tell people the best way to grow your business is to put that free product on wraps. Again, you can get 2 free boxes, basically, of wraps with that 120 in free product. And guess what? You have 8 more wraps the company just gave to you that you're going to make 100% commission on. And you're going to be able to wrap people. You're going to be able to talk about the business opportunity. You're going to be able to make, the cash that I didn't even talk about on that. And you're going to be able to talk to them about the loyal customer program. Let's just say it how it is. The loyal customer program is the most awesome program I've ever heard of from a sales company. It is the only company that I know of that you can go and sell a product and offer your friends and family the same price that you pay without having to give them your price, so to speak. So you've got another product that you sell, you maybe make a 50% commission, your family and your friends know that. And so you tell them with It Works Global, I can give you my pricing. And then guess what? That exchange of money is not going from your friends to your hand, but the company's rewarding you and paying you through a commission check the following month. And so they get to purchase the products at your pricing and with no commitment to sell a product, just the commitment of making a product order for the next 3 months. So I encourage people to get those loyal customers as soon as possible.
Well, and not to be missed here is the point that the loyal customer program in and of itself is a recruiting tool. Going back to what you were saying, there's nothing else out there that gives you the opportunity to give everyone in the world the same pricing that you've got. That is a recruiting tool, folks. Don't miss that. And so when you're out there talking to potential distributors, that's one of the things you need to be talking about, is because this loyal customer program, it's pretty good. And so that is a huge recruiting tool.
And I'll tell you from my end, for me joining the business, I just kind of jumped in really not knowing what I was doing and made a quick minute decision that I was going to sign up to get these wraps and try and do this crazy wrap thing without even knowing or thinking twice about it. And I thought, well, good grief, I got to get 4 loyal customers in the first 30 days, and they're going to give me 120 in free product. And if I never sold that free product, but I just kept it for myself, gosh, wouldn't that be pretty awesome? And 4 loyal customers is not going to be hard, considering I've got 2 sisters and a mom. Even if I had to call in a favor, I could get them in no problem. And so the quicker you do it, the better. I always recommend to a new recruit or a new personally sponsored distributor coming in, the quicker we can do this together, the better. If they can do it within 10 days, they're going to see their cash a lot quicker. And let's face it, they're in it to make money. Everybody that signs into this business, everybody has different whys and different reasons, but everybody comes in wanting to make a few dollars at least, or at least pay for their own product.
I think there's no doubt about that. And here's something that's important, and you shouldn't miss this. People are afraid to talk about the business model aspect of this as a positive. You think that multi-level marketing, or everyone has heard the whole pyramid scheme, but here's the bottom line. When people are talking to you about a business, what are they interested in talking about?
Money.
So why are we afraid to talk about money, folks? We shouldn't be. No. And guess what? I hear this all the time. Well, I'm only executive, or I just made Ruby last month, and I'm not making a bunch of money. Or how about this? I'm only Emerald. I'm only making an extra $900. Yeah, I love the argument about executive. I mean, who in their right mind is classifying $300 a month as only? I'll fight you for $300 a month.
Right.
Seriously.
I came into this business wanting to make $200 a month, and for me it was imperative that I got those 4 loyal customers right away, because I needed that free product. I needed to be able to put that back on people and make the cash money of $30 per wrap, $240 that I set aside in my drawer. And I said, okay, my husband has no idea that I have an auto shipment coming up.
Horrible wife.
And I'm not suggesting that you don't be honest. I just didn't quite fully understand it. And I thought that $240 in cash, I'm going to set aside, because I'm going to work this business for 90 days and give it all I've got. And the company is going to pay for 3 months of my auto shipment. And if I can't make money with this business, I'm done. And guess what? I made money!
Yeah, I mean, don't again, I have a numbers mind, and so do not underestimate the importance of mathematics as it pertains to justifying how this recruitment tool can work for you from showing the numbers. And I'm going to back up and I'm going to say, in general, and this is not an absolute, but in general, guys speak numbers, women speak product. And so you've heard Lori, she's crossed back and forth between the two because she's talked about, hey, I've got my product, and I'm selling these wraps, I'm getting my 4 loyal customers so I can get more product. And then she's jumping back and forth between cash, I made this cash, I stuck this cash away. Both of those are recruiting tools because different people speak different languages. And so you got to be aware of that. And this goes back to my experience comment. The more you're out there and the more you're talking, the more you're going to learn that everybody's different and everyone hears different things. In fact, I would make an argument that the people on this call will hear 10% of less of what we heard tonight. You know what they're going to hear? You know what's going to sell them on us? Excitement. That we're excited.
Right.
I didn't hear what they said, but they were excited about it, so now I'm interested in it. So you've gotta pay attention to your target market, and your target market is everyone. And guess what? Everyone's different. So you've got to be diverse in your approach.
So the quicker you can do it, the better, because I'm telling you what, even though women are mainly product driven, if they don't see that cash coming in, they usually have a husband that kind of says,
Yeah, we're paying the buck, guys. We're stubborn. We're going to ride you.
Do your loyal customers in 10 days, and we're going to tell you how to do that in just a minute, and you'll be able to see that cash very quickly come to you. The next step for the steps to success is to go Ruby and find 3 distributors to do the business with you. And we touched on recruiting versus sponsoring and finding those people, but I think sometimes it just comes down to you're living the blitz, you're talking to people, you're staying excited about the product and sharing that opportunity of the product and the business opportunity with everybody that you come in contact with. And sometimes, guys, it's about planting those seeds that Quentin talked about, but sometimes it's literally asking people to join your team. I have seen it happen over and over again where someone might have a wrap party and not talk about the opportunity. And then, they come crying a week later saying that so-and-so at the party that I was just at just signed up with so-and-so. And I will say, well, did you ask them if they wanted to be a distributor? And more times than none, they say, no.
Nope.
And so don't shoot yourself in the foot by prejudging who wants this opportunity and who does not. So 3 distributors to go Ruby and simply go find them and go ask.
Here's the promise. I will promise you this. If you're on this call and you're out there and you're telling me I'm wrapping people and I'm not signing them. I'm wrapping people, I don't get distributors. I wrap people and I'm not getting little customers. I will guarantee you that every single person you wrap that you do not ask to join your team, probably won't.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and wait for the wrap to do everything for you. The wrap does what it says it's going to do every single time. You've got to take those people over the edge of the cliff by asking them to join your team, folks. What's the #1 lesson you take away from this call on recruiting?
You ask them.
You ask. You ask. You ask. You ask.
Because they'll never say yes if you don't ask. So if you sit in front of a newly recruit or a newly sponsored individual that's interested in the business and they've said no to the auto shipment, you don't go on. If they say, oh, I don't know 4 people and I don't think I'm not interested in getting loyal customers, then it's a no. If you go on to step number 3 and they say, I'm not really interested in building a team, then you say no. You're wanting individuals that are driven enough to share that product opportunity by getting loyal customers and that opportunity from the business end.
It just goes back to everybody's not made out for this business. And so don't spin your wheels trying to get people to become distributors who just aren't cut out for it. That's the bottom line. And that's a mistake a lot of people will make when they get in here is they just want to sign up everyone. And not everyone needs to be signed up as a distributor.
Correct.
I think our products are great for every human being I'm going to run in contact with. So I'd be happy to sign up everyone on earth as a loyal customer. But not everyone is made to be a distributor, and you've got to get your mind and your heart okay with that.
Guys, this really is a win-win situation because if the distributor, that you think that might be interested in the opportunity signs up as a distributor, they're not going back to be a loyal customer 9 times out of 10. But if you sign somebody up as a loyal customer and they, start using the product, fall in love with it, and start talking about it to their friends, then 90% of those loyal customers will become your best distributors that you've ever had.
Well, and 78.2% of all statistics are made up. So quarter on that 90%.
Right.
But I think not to be missed here is the fact that we're all in this business to make money. We all want to make a living here, and sometimes when we sign distributors, they will make us money. But every single time we sign a loyal customer, they make us money.
That's correct. Okay, so moving forward, you signed your distributor. You've gotten them to, yes, 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 and all those 3 steps to success. You always recommend when you're signing a new distributor, your kit's going to come with 4 wraps. You definitely need more product because when we do your launch party here in the next week, you're going to have more than 4 people that are going to want to come. And you're probably going to use one of those for yourself, if not 2. And so you really need to look at boosting, and you need to offer that opportunity to them to boost. And I always talk to them about the $499 boost first. And if that's more than they're willing to spend at that initial moment, then I always
invest. The word you were looking for is invest.
Invest in that opportunity at that time. Then always talk about the enrollment booster because they really do need to invest, Quentin, invest in themselves to have enough product on hand to be able to wrap people because wrapping is what we do. So don't sign somebody up without talking to them about the booster kit. Okay, launching. Let's talk about successful launching. We've talked about recruiting. Let's go on to launching. You've got that new distributor. Now what do you do because they're your first distributor? So the first thing that you want to do is don't tell them not to wait to get their kit to start talking about the product.
First rule of Fight Club, you sign someone up, they do not wait to start working their business.
That's right. A lot of people will say, well, I don't get my kit for 7 to 10 business days. And you say, well, the clock is a-running. And we need to make sure that you are launched successfully. So what we need to do today is set a date for your party. If they're local to you, then you go and support them at that launch party. And you make sure that they have enough wraps on hand to be able to wrap people. And by boosting, if they didn't boost, then make sure they get enough product on hand at the party to be able to accommodate, their wrappers. It's very, very important that you do this within a matter of 5 to 7 business days. So product or no product, as a sponsor, you should have boosted and should have product to be able to help them out.
But Lori, I'm signing all these people who are out of state. I mean, I hear you telling me I need to do a launch party for them. How on earth could I possibly do a launch party for someone who's not local to me?
There's a lot of different ways you can do a launch party for somebody that's not local to you. One way is to do a Skype party. Another way is, realistically, being there and being at a party and being present is awesome, but there's a lot of ways that you can be present without being present at a party. You can spend time prep work, empower them to go through their eSpeak training. We have party videos that they can watch. I know for my team, I personally have a video that I've shared with just kind of a steps or a system in place that you put at a party. There's definitely training that they can do to be able to have a successful launch without you being present.
Or how about partnering up with someone that you may have local to the area? We've done that a bunch of times.
Awesome way too. More than likely your sponsor or their diamond leader probably has a Facebook group page that you can plug on and say who's local in this area and get someone at that party. Your launch party is super important because not only is this going to help ensure their success by getting wraps on people, it's going to build their confidence level. It's going to be a great training opportunity for them to see you present or see maybe that person that's local to them present at that party. It's super imperative their success, and it is, in turn, your success as well.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the structure of this business. If we don't help them get launched, we don't help them get their feet underneath them, they're not going to be successful. And if they're not successful, we're not successful. So what was the point of signing them up?
Right. There's no point in signing a distributor up or recruiting a distributor and not sponsoring.
That's right, we're in the sponsoring.
Yeah, the company does not reward us for recruiting, they reward us for sponsoring. So launching, it helps to build that excitement, it helps to train them, helps them boost their confidence, it helps them in so many different ways, and it helps to kind of build that layered leadership in your organization, because if you've launched that new distributor, guess what that new distributor is going to do?
They're going to teach the people they sign up to launch their new distributor.
That's correct. Let's see.
Teach empowerment. We just did.
We talked about empowerment. I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, help your distributors get their 4 loyal customers in 10 days. I think that's super imperative as a sponsor too, because I think when you're excited about something, you have a tendency to want to go out and do it. If you don't have any contact with that new sponsor or that new recruit, that excitement's going to die down. So when I sponsor somebody, I am in daily communication with them, whether that be via Facebook, text, phone call, asking them how things are going, asking them, if they've gotten their product and if they've started their training. Just the sooner they can get started on their business, don't delay, because that's the sooner they're going to see that cash come.
Well, and this goes back to, they invested, when they signed up, they invested in you. They invested in a product and they invested in you. And so what you've got to do is stay with them and stay with that investment. You don't just sign someone up and turn them loose, because they've invested in you. And so we tell people 10 days because you want to take advantage of the excitement. You want to ride the excitement wave. When they first sign up, they're excited about what you told them. They're excited about working with you. They are excited, period. And let's ride that excitement, because that's what's going to carry them through. And so, yeah, we've got 30 days to get our 4 loyal customers, but what are we going to do in it? 10.
10. We're going to do it in 10, because guess what? In 10 days, if they don't have any loyal customers, within another week, they're going to get a notification from corporate that their auto ship's going to be running for the following month, because it comes out about a week before, right? And so I don't know about you, but me, if I would have started a business and then 3 weeks into it would have gotten an email from the company that I signed with that I haven't done anything with, that I'm going to be buying more product, that I already have product sitting because I haven't done anything with it, I would start to question my decision on becoming a distributor. And so it's really, really important as a sponsor for a new distributor to get them launched immediately, keep the excitement going, help them to see cash immediately so they can see that there is a great opportunity in their hands.
I think we're good. That 10 days is really, really important, because, it also emphasizes and stresses, again, kind of one part of your sales technique was emphasizing the importance of that free product. And when you've got those 4 loyal customers in 10 days, guess what I just got?
Free product.
Yeah, free product. I'm going to turn around and make bank on.
And this set this mama on fire. That free product set me on fire and allowed me to run my business pretty much without my own personal money for 90 days. So it's super, super imperative. And, launching their business and helping them get their loyal customers as well may turn into distributors as well. So you just help your new distributor potentially get 3 of their steps to success down. Okay, so you think you may have a rock star. Let's talk about that.
Where's the Rihanna video where we're playing Rockstar? Should we have done that?
I'm not sure I'm familiar with that one.
Oh yeah, she's so innocent.
Right.
Of course not. Rihanna, who's that?
Okay, so do you have a rock star on your hands? Every time that we sign a new distributor, remember, don't prejudge, because the ones that you think that are going to be rock stars are usually the ones that turn their auto ship off and and don't do well. But the ones that you don't really think that may not do a whole lot actually end up rocking it out. So here's kind of a test that we've given our new distributors that we sponsor and recruit. I usually will give them just a little bit of homework. So I sign a new distributor. We've gone over the steps to success. This is prior to their launch party. I do this. The day that they're signed or the night that I sign them, I give them a little bit of homework just to kind of see how serious they are about the business opportunity. Because this is going to allow me to see if they are a runner or going to be a walker.
Oh, I love listening to my sweet wife say, I give them just a little bit of homework just to see how, it's like the guy that painted with the trees. We're just going to have a little tree here with the fro, No, we're giving them homework. And the reason why we're giving them homework is we're going to test you. We're testing you because we want to know if you're the real deal. If you pass that first test, we're going to start running with you, bro. If you fail that first test, we got a problem. Because if you can't listen to the very first thing we ask you to do, and it's going to be a little bitty task.
It is a super easy little task. And usually what I tell people to do is a couple of things. The first thing I just say, hey, why don't you go out on Facebook? Barring that they have a Facebook account. If they don't have a Facebook account, you can come up with another task. But I usually will say, go ahead and go on Facebook and announce that you just started this awesome business. And let them know that what product you have coming and how excited you are about this business adventure. That's the little homework that I give them. because that tells me how serious they are about the business. If my sponsor would have told me to go out and post something on Facebook the night I signed up, I would have done it. And that would tell me as a sponsor that this person is serious about wanting to get her business, his or her business started right away.
Well, I think it goes back to the experience thing again. You know, one of the experience things that you're going to learn is you got to learn personality colors and how your world fits into the world of the other three colors. You know, who are you? What are your strengths and weaknesses, and what are those that you're working with? This kind of goes back to that as well. You've got to learn. One of the things that we've learned over time is those people who sign up, if they don't get out of the gates, they don't start working right away, or more importantly, if they can't do our very simple, easiest first task, they're generally not a runner. Is that right?
Right, that's correct. And so if I've given a task and they, like such as go put yourself out on Facebook, tell people what you got your hands on. If they don't pass that test, it doesn't mean that they failed necessarily, but in my mind it tells me that they're probably not going to go gung-ho with this business. So I'm going to give them another task and give them another opportunity and keep working with them. But I'm going to know right away if they're wanting to run with this business or kind of go at a slower pace. So that's one task. Another couple of tasks that maybe you could do is, go through your E-Suite training. Let me know one thing that really stood out to you on what you want to do. One thing that I've done too is when you get your kit in, get your Success from Home magazine, read through the success stories, and tell me which one was your favorite. And if they never report back to you, then they're probably not going to be your rock star.
Yeah. Or we've got some simple, go back to eSuite. We've got some videos out there. We've got our own videos that we've made on YouTube. Sometimes we'll just say, hey, go watch this video and tell me what stood out to you. Something basic. It takes them very little time.
Right.
It's just a matter. We're just testing you to see if, hey, are you gonna be moldable and ready to work with this, or are you just kind of moving at your own pace?
One thing that was in my notes that I completely just spaced off, which I apologize. When you sit down and you are signing your new distributor, make sure you sit down with them as you're going through those steps to success, and they've said yes to all three of those. Ask them what their reasoning for coming into the business is. Find out their why. Their why may be very, very surface level at that point in time. Like for me, it was $200 a month to get my nails done. Something for me to kind of pamper myself as a mom of four. I didn't get that a whole lot, and so that $200 a month allowed me to have some mad money. And so find out their reason why, so you can go back when you have that distributor that maybe have a lull in their business and remind them of their why.
Well, here's the deal. Let's be honest. We could do an entire webinar on your why. Your why is the biggest thing that you can find and do and teach in this business, I think. Well, the steps to success is the biggest thing, but your second is going to be your why. Because if people don't know why they're doing what they're doing, they're just wandering around lost. And one of the most important things that we've started doing, and it took us a lot of error to figure this out and to learn this, was, we asked people on the phone, up front, when in person, wherever we get the opportunity, we walk through the why part of it with them. Because guess what? Those struggles, those challenging times, those are going to happen. They're going to happen for everybody. And when they do, when those people come back to you and they're struggling, they're beat up, or they want to quit, guess what you can do? You can talk to them about their why. You can tell them the reason they wanted this business, not in your words, but in their words. And that's power. That's the doctor's medicine right there. When you can help people by help with their own language, with their own why, that's hard to refute, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. One thing I also recommend was when they nail down their why, and even if it's surface level, just to write it down somewhere that they can be reminded in a goal format. And so for me, that, needing some pampering time, it was $200 a month is what I wanted. And so I would recommend to that new distributor signing on, if they just wanted $200 a month, is to write that on a post-it and put it on their bathroom mirror. And so that way, every morning when they get up to brush their teeth, or every morning when they, get up to get ready for work, or whatever they're doing for their day, they would look at that and be reminded, all I need is $200. And so when they achieve that, they start to feel like they've accomplished their why, and at times will start to restructure their why as well. The most important thing that you can do to help your new distributors to be successful is just to stick with them and give them, I believe, those homework tasks to let you kind of know where they're at in the business and where they want to be. Launching them is super, super, super important. Just not the idea of just recruiting somebody, but you've got to sponsor them and stick with them and build that relationship of letting them know that you care about their success as well.
Yeah, above all things, you've got to stay positive. You've got to stay excited. You've got to stay in the constant mode of life attraction. And what I mean by that is recruiting is very, very simple. It is about living a life in such a way that people are attracted to what you're doing. You got to take care of your appearance. That sounds cheesy. You got to smile. You got to look happy. You got to be happy. You've got to be fulfilled. You've got to find your God. You've got to find your fulfilling driving forces in your life. You've got to be in tune with your family. You've got to be a happy person, because people are attracted to things that are positive. If you're living that life of, it's like Eeyore, and the way we just watched Winnie the Pooh the other night with the kids, and poor Eeyore, he's got a rough go, oh bother, he's just down and is not a happy camper all the time. And so that's not what we want to be. We don't want to be the Eeyores. And I can't go back and emphasize enough, as far as a recruiting tool in regards to Facebook, do not live out your Eeyore on Facebook, man. You've got to constantly live that life of excitement and be happy. You can't be on Facebook talking about how awesome this product is and how much it's changed your life, and then, oh, I got to tell you about this person that cut me off in traffic, and oh, my Monday was so horrible. Those two things, they are not congruent with each other. And you've got to live a life that's consistent. You've got to continue to show people that what you're doing is truly improving your life in a positive way, and it's something that you're so excited about that you want to share with people. Excitement is your biggest recruiting tool. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree. I think that we don't, people are watching us whether we think they are or not. And if you've committed yourself to this business, and people want to know that you're serious, and they want to trust that you're serious, and you might have a lot of customers and you might have a lot of potential distributors out there that are just watching you, and they're watching the moves that you make on Facebook and the lifestyle that you're living. And happiness is huge. Nobody in this world doesn't want to be happy, and they want to surround themselves with happy people. And so make sure you're staying positive. Make sure that you are living the life that you want to live.
I'm not saying put on the air of happiness. I'm saying be happy.
Be happy.
Find your why, live your why, be happy, folks. Don't worry. Be happy.
Be happy. Here's the deal. You just don't get into this business with the option to quit. And so if you've got someone in front of you that says, yeah, I'll try it out and we'll maybe see how it works, guess what they are?
Nope. They're not someone I want on my team. I can tell you that.
Right.
They're a loyal customer.
They're a loyal customer. Say, awesome. You'd be a great loyal customer.
That's right. I think that's all we have for now, Stace. What do we got? I can dance, but you can't see it.
Guess we could have made a video of that.
Ah.
Maybe Stacy checked out.
No way. I would never check
Hey,
out.
Hey, Stacy, are you there?
I'm trying. All right. Can you hear me now?
Well, we can keep talking, too.
I thought we've been talking to ourselves the whole time. We totally just did a webinar by ourselves, to ourselves.
By yourselves. You guys maxed
It was
it
a good
out. You guys absolutely
All right.
maxed it out. Woo, that was awesome.
Is maxed it out the same as maxing it out?
No, that's like crocodiles versus alligators. Come on. I think we're good.
Gotcha,
The only
gotcha.
question, that really rolled along was people say, I'm getting a ton of no's or getting ignored when I tell them what the price of the kit is or what the price of the products are. How do I go about not hitting this problem?
Let's talk about the business opportunity being $99. What else can you do that's going to potentially pay you unlimited levels of income for only $99? I would simply say this. Stop eating out for a week and then get a kit, because it can change your life if you need a game changer.
Well, here's what I do. I love that question because I got it from all of my close friends. Wow, $100, man. I mean, really, you're going to spend $100 to change your life. But let's just do this for fun because I'm a wise guy. Let's take your last 48 hours and let's track where you've spent money. And I hope this is a Monday, because if it's over a weekend, I'm going to blow you up and tell you, guess what? You've got $100. Everyone has the money to spend on the things they want to spend it on. It's almost, I put it in the same silly boat as I just don't have time for this. Because guess what? We always have time for the things that we really want to do. And so we always have money for the things that we really, I'll go sell my motorcycle, my bicycle, you can find the money if you really, really have to, if you really, really want to. And so for those people who are running the problem of people saying, I don't have the money,
they don't want the opportunity.
They may not want the opportunity, okay, but I don't want to miss the point that you may not see the opportunity and be presenting it in a way to them that they see it either. And so there's one of two things going on. Those people are just a no and you move on, and that's okay. But they may very well be a would, but you just haven't got that fire in you and are getting them to see the fire that's burning in you. So it could be a problem of they're just a no and move on, or it could be a problem of you don't see it and you've got to look inside and see what am I delivering or how am I delivering in a way that's not touching them a way that they need to. And that goes back to understanding personalities and colors and who you are versus who you're speaking to.
I have to say I agree 100%. I had $17 to my name when I signed up, and I spent $400 to sign up.
Amazing. But you wanted it, right?
Heck yeah, I did. I made the most uncomfortable call I've ever made in my life, got the money, and got started.
There you go.
And then that's someone else asked, your system for parties. Lori, are you doing the same 3-station setup that most of us are doing, or do you have your own deal?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's the system I use, and I can maybe kind of tell you just in a nutshell form. You have 3 stations that you get set up. The first station's the check-in area, and you definitely want to have like a money jar there and make it clear, because as people check in, you're going to have a sign-in sheet, and they're going to pay that $30 for that wrap, and they're going to put it in that jar, and that jar is going to speak volumes as the money starts going into it. It's gonna sell that opportunity 100% of the time without you even talking about it. Station number 2 is going to be a wrapping station, and then that wrapping station, I have my cell phone to take before and after pictures. A lot of people are getting away from measuring because it's just too much time, and the fact that people don't remeasure when they go home is there too. And so before and after pictures are certainly vital to seeing kind of what took place in that last 45 minutes. But that's that second step, is that wrapping station. And you want to have a, I would recommend a private area, preferably not a bathroom. You don't want in that bedroom, in that wrapping room, you want to have clipboards. I use clipboards with the order forms on them. And on the order forms, I simply just take a highlighter and highlight a couple of my favorite products, about 5 or 6 of them, and I hand them a clipboard as I wrap them up. I don't answer questions in that wrap room, but I hand them a clipboard and I say, go ahead and fill this out, and I'll meet you back in the gathering spot here in just a minute when I get everybody wrapped up. Get everybody wrapped up on station number 2, head to station number 3, which is the gathering spot, and that's where I take out my It Works catalog, and I simply just read through the catalog very, very easily, and turn it, talk about the opportunity for a little bit, and then in 45 minutes I bring them back to the wrapping room. I remeasure if I'm measuring, or I take that after picture, and I ask them to bring their clipboard back with them to check them out at that time. So you don't have a 4th station. I know a lot of people try to create a 4th station for checkout, but that checkout's actually going to take place in 45 minutes when they go back to the wrapping room. They're going to bring that clipboard back with them, and you're going to check them out as you either rewrap them back up or give them their after picture to go home.
Well, technically, she does have a 4th station, and I would highly recommend implementing this into your business as well. Your 4th station or your final station is when you go home and you hug and you lay a big juicy kiss on your husband and you dump all that money out. You just made it a wrap party. That's your last station.
That's your 4th station. I was like, I don't have a 4th station. That's crazy.
Now, one of the things I stopped doing is passing out catalogs at my parties, because if they have something else to do, they will. So if I found if I only give them the order form and I can control, I can control what they're doing. They've got an order form and a pen.
I love that. And, too, if anybody's done any sales before, that's one thing that you often hear people saying, well, do I have to buy catalogs? Do I have to buy all this paper that and so the simple fact is this, Stacy, your kit that comes in from corporate, you can do every party with. You do not have to have extra marketing materials as far as a party goes. You just need one catalog and one brochure. And I would recommend that you cut that brochure in half, laminate both sides of that sucker, and pass it around the room. You do not need to, if you don't have the money to invest in products like that, that comes at a later time, and you just laminate that sucker and pass it around. So I love that you said that.
I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much. You're both amazing.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us. I totally appreciate it.
It was fun. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you, Stacy.
See you in
Thank you.
2 days.
See you in a couple
days.
All right, girl.
All right.
Yay.
Bye. Thanks, Quentin. Bye, Lori.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected.